Definitely have a lot to say about this topic just based off of like my family experience.
When I was thinking about love, I kind of had like a similar thought process, I guess, of like, well, love the noun or love the verb? They have similar meanings, but they're obviously different.
I'd say my personal definition of love would be
My personal definition of love would be just giving of oneself to someone else.
Love is the purest form of understanding and communication.
Love is very much an action, it's a choice. The feeling that we associate with love, it comes only when you put the effort in.
With love, even that word itself can be used in so many different ways. Love is expression,
Forgiving,
A gift, vulnerability,
consistent,
Compassion,
commitment,
patient,
generous,
selfless,
time,
empathy.
letting people go,
Connection.
wholesome.
unpredictable.
Love is actually spelled T-I-M-E.
It's very much an intentional effort that you put towards someone that you care about.
If you love someone, that's when you give up of yourself to someone else.
If you do things for people expecting to get stuff out of them, and then you don't get those things, and you stop doing nice things for them, it's not really love.
Anything that you can give is like giving love, especially if it involves giving something up. I don't know, some kind of sacrifice.
I don't think that love is something that you can just fall into or something that just happens. Growing up, my parents were not in love, and it's because my dad just didn't put in the effort. I always just kind of wanted to shake him a little bit when he said, we just fell out of love. I just wanted to say, hey, like, how do you expect to feel like in love and excited about someone if you're not putting in the effort? Watching my mom with my stepdad now, they are in love. I have never seen my mom so happy. She just lights up. They are always together. They really do both put in that intentional effort towards each other. He's just someone that has helped me see what love really is. He chose to come into our lives. He chose to treat me like his daughter, even though I'm his stepdaughter. He just always is looking out for me. The kind of person that I know if I was halfway across the country and my car broke down, he's who I would call because he would come.
One way that love can be expressed in action is through prioritizing time with that person over something else. My dad, a lot of the time he expresses love a lot more through like action, through what he does. He was always committed to helping me. It felt like it was always there, even if I was kind of being dumb.
I thought back to my mother and her consistency in loving us. I'll list what her average day looked like. She would wake up at about 5. She would make breakfast and lunch for me, my sister, and my dad. And she'd have it ready by 6 when we would leave to go to seminary. Then she would make herself breakfast, lunch, and then go to work and be at work from 8 to 6. And then she'd come home and she'd make dinner and she would clean. She would do all the dishes. If there was laundry that needed to be done, she'd do the laundry. Just anything. If she needed to run errands, she'd run them. She did it all. And so thinking back to that, I think if I was a parent and I was doing that, I feel like I'd complain sometimes. But I never heard her complain. I never heard her utter anything bad about us. She was always consistently doing everything. And to do that for that much time, for how bratty we were some days, I think you could only do that if you love someone. Like you can only put in that much effort if you truly cared.
I have a friend back home in Hawaii who I always just kind of think of as like a really good example of just someone who's like really loving. Growing up, there was kind of a hesitancy for Polynesians and white kids to interact and be friends. And that made me really sad, especially like as a kid. It limited the amount of friends that I could have because, most people were Polynesians and they just didn't want to be friends with me. But she never seemed to even notice. She was just open and free with her kindness and her love. Even now, I want to be able to love more freely and openly. I think I want to be like her.
I think there's a lot of power behind action. When I tell someone I love them, it's important that I express that love. And when I say express, it's not just saying, hey, I love you. It's saying like, hey, I love you and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that I love you by doing good things for you, by serving. You can say that someone means a lot to you, but how do they know they mean a lot to you, right? How do they know that you love them? You have to show them you love them. You have to show them that you're willing to be there for them. You have to show them that you want to hear their problems. You want to hear about their day. A lot of times we get caught up in the basic things that everyone says, like, I love you, I care about you, I want you to be happy. Well, what are you doing to fulfill those words. Because if you really mean it, then you're gonna do your best to make sure that happens for the person you're saying it to.
One of the times that I felt the most love and that I remember love is as a kid when I had nightmares. I'd go to my parents' room and they let me sleep on the end of the bed or on the floor. And so I felt safe and I felt protected and taken care of, that they would sacrifice their sleep to make sure that I was safe and that I felt okay. And they'd be careful not to wake me up in the morning and step around me, or they'd carry me back to my bed. That safety and protection, that's the love that I continue to feel through my parents throughout my life. So when I was a teenager and I got really depressed, I remembered the comfort that I felt when I had nightmares or when there was a storm and I slept on their floor and they came into my room and checked on me, would open the windows and it was brought the same feelings. I did and still do a lot of really stupid things. In my head, I need to talk to someone about it or need to apologize to my parents because I offended them in some way or another. And I always expect them to be man, you are horrible. I can't believe you did that. But it was just nothing changed how they felt about me or who they saw me as. I think one time my mom told me that it just made them love me more and see me more, because I think I feel the most love when I feel understood.
Real love can only be expressed through time.
It is intentional, not just something that happens or something that you're obligated to.
If you love people consistently, then they will notice and they will begin to love you too.
The ultimate goal is for everyone on earth to be able to have that kind of connection and to be able to feel actual love.
God blesses us with the ability to love. Think of how much love God has for us. When you get married, or if God blesses you with a kid, God's gonna give you the capacity to love them in a way that maybe you couldn't before.
Love shows itself in all forms, both big and small. My day, my week, my month has been changed by a little note that I've gotten from someone or something that someone said to me that was really, really kind.
Love is good. Love is good.
I think that's everything.
Who in your life kind of has personified your definition of love? Besides me, of course.
Yeah.
You can say me.
Definitely Stuart.
Oh.